Hey warriors, listen carefully. There's a moment in every man's life when someone will try to humiliate him, test him, push him, just to see how far he bends before he breaks. But here's the truth. The real test isn't what they say, it's how you respond. The moment you rush to defend yourself, to justify, to explain, you've already surrendered your power. You've shown them that their words can reach you. You've handed over the map to your emotions, and once they know where your buttons are, they'll press them again and again. The world doesn't respect emotions. It studies them. Every time you rise to anger, every time you argue to prove your worth, you're teaching others exactly how to control you. Insults aren't born from hate. They're born from curiosity. People want to see if you can be shaken, if your confidence is real or just a mask. They want to know if a few words can unbalance you. But the strongest men in history never argued. They never tried to win debates with noise. They mastered silence, because silence is more powerful than any defense. When you stay quiet, you force others to confront their own instability. You expose them without lifting a finger. The one who reacts reveals himself. The one who stays calm controls everything. An insult isn't just an attack, it's an invitation. The world is asking you, do you know who you are, or do you need me to remind you? And the moment you answer emotionally, you prove that you've forgotten. You let someone else decide your worth. But when you remain still, when you refuse to react, you become unreadable. People fear what they can't read. They respect what they can't move. Silence isn't weakness, it's strategy. It's a weapon that leaves the other person guessing, doubting, exposed. The truth is, unstable people always need to prove they're unshaken. The strong simply watch. They don't defend. They don't explain. They let others drown in their own noise. Because silence burns louder than any comeback ever could. Every insult hides a deeper motive. It's never just words. It's a test of control. People insult to see what triggers you. They press on emotional wounds to measure your reaction. They want to know what hurts, what bothers, what truth you're afraid others will see. That's why reacting only gives them data. It's emotional reconnaissance. And once they know your weaknesses, they'll use them again. But when you stay silent, the experiment fails. They don't get what they came for. Their power collapses because they realize they can't control you. That's when you quietly shift from the tested to the tester. You become the observer. And observers always hold the upper hand. Insults are psychological mirrors. They reflect the insecurity of the one throwing them. When someone mocks you, what they're really saying is, I wish I had what you have. When they criticize your confidence, they're revealing their own lack of it. Once you see through that lens, no insult can wound you anymore. You stop hearing their words as truth and start hearing them as confessions. That's emotional intelligence at its highest form. Not sensitivity, but strategy. It's the art of reading people faster than they can read you. Because when you understand others better than they understand themselves, they can't hurt you. They can only expose themselves. Power lies not in dominance, but in controlling the frame, the invisible space where meaning is decided. When someone insults you, they're inviting you into their emotional frame. A battlefield of chaos, ego, and noise. The moment you react, you've stepped into their world. You're playing their game by their rules. But when you stay calm, when you don't enter that frame, you force them to adapt to yours. Their aggression starts to look desperate. Their anger starts to look weak. And your stillness becomes the new center of gravity. That's the power of composure. It redefines the hierarchy without a word. The person who reacts loses status. The one who stays calm gains gravity. It's not about being passive. It's about being precise. You're not avoiding the fight. You're controlling it by refusing to participate on their terms. People think power is loud, but real authority is silent. It's the quiet presence that shifts the atmosphere in a room. When you speak less, people listen more. When you react less, people observe you more closely. They sense something different, something they can't control. That's when you become unpredictable, and unpredictability is untouchable. Silence is not emptiness. It's authority. The loud scream to be heard. The wise make silence do the talking. When someone insults you, stillness becomes your greatest defense. They expect movement. They expect emotion. When nothing comes, it unnerves them. Their confidence crumbles under the weight of your calm. They start questioning themselves. Did it not land? Why isn't he reacting? That uncertainty grows into discomfort, and discomfort turns into respect. The mind fears what it cannot predict, and silence is the ultimate unpredictability. It hides your thoughts while radiating quiet danger. It makes people project their own fear onto you. That's how mystery creates power, through imagination. Silence forces others to see themselves. That's why it's so unsettling. When you don't react, they're left alone with their own noise. And in that void, they realize that their attempt to control you has failed. Your calm becomes a mirror reflecting their chaos. The longer you hold your composure, the stronger it becomes. It's not about being cold. It's about being centered. You can't insult someone who knows himself completely. The world can only hurt what you haven't accepted. Once you've made peace with who you are, no word, no judgment, no opinion can reach you. Self-awareness is emotional armor. The insults that used to sting become information. You stop asking, why did they say that? And start asking, why did it affect me? That question transforms you from a puppet of emotion into a master of perception. Every insult is a confession. People reveal themselves through the way they attack others. The jealous accuse others of arrogance. The insecure call others fake. The fearful mock courage. Once you learn to listen between the lines, you'll see that most attacks are self-projections. Instead of being offended, you start gathering data. You begin to understand who you're dealing with. Their words become clues, their tone a map of their insecurity. You stop taking things personally and start reading them like patterns. That's emotional jujitsu, using their own energy to understand their weakness. The longer they try to provoke, the more transparent they become. Eventually, they expose everything while you reveal nothing. There will be times when silence alone isn't enough, when a subtle response is needed, not to defend, but to end the exchange with precision. The art lies in control. A calm tone, few words, and absolute composure. When someone says, "You've changed," the reactive rush to explain. The wise simply reply, "That's what growth looks like." No emotion, no justification, just quiet finality. Or when someone sneers, "You think you're better," you answer, "I think differently." Simple, unbothered. A subtle reply isn't about winning. It's about ending the game on your terms. It's emotional chess. Each word is deliberate, emotionless, and surgical. The more you master tone and timing, the more every insult dies in your silence. Composure is a long game. It's not about staying calm once. It's about staying calm always. The world will keep testing you. The impatient react fast. The powerful react never. Every insult, every doubt, every challenge is a test of endurance. The one who can outlast chaos wins by default. Over time, your calm builds a reputation stronger than words. People start to associate your name with stability, your silence with confidence. That's how legends are formed, not through loud moments, but through invisible discipline. Time exposes the emotional and rewards the patient. The storms always pass, but the mountain remains. Be the mountain. There comes a point when you've mastered yourself so deeply that insults stop registering as pain. They simply pass through you. And when that happens, everything changes. The power dynamic reverses. The same people who once mocked you begin to hesitate before speaking. They sense something unshakable in your presence, a stillness that commands respect without demanding it. You've become unreadable, and unreadability is the ultimate form of control. People fear what they cannot define. They respect what they cannot move. That's when real dominance begins, not through aggression, but through presence. You no longer need to prove strength. You are strength. You don't need to shout power. You embody it. The world bends to those who cannot be moved. So when provoked, remember this: silence is not surrender. It's supremacy. The one who controls himself controls everything. Every time you stay calm, you reclaim territory in the invisible war of emotions. You rise above the noise, above the chaos, above the fragile egos that depend on reaction. You become untouchable. Let them speak. Let them try. Let them reveal themselves while you remain unmoved. That's how power shifts quietly, permanently, and completely.